Hello, good day, everyone. I hope everything is going well with you. And I welcome you back to our subject, Purposive Communication using English in multilingual context. And I hope that you are in a comfortable seat wherever you are watching this pre-recorded video. And now let's proceed with our next discussion, which is all about the lesson 4, the oral presentation. Okay, lesson 4 na ta. So here's our learning outcomes in lesson 4. First is to deliver effectively the introduction and conclusion of your oral presentation to create lasting impression. Employ vocal and physical factors, eye contact, and presentation aids for effective delivery. And our last learning outcome is to critique an oral presentation. Okay, let's start with the principles of an effective speech and be a good public speaker. Wait for a while. So when we to be an effective speaker and to have a good public speaking skills, when we face a large number of audience, we feel nervous, labaw nagdili-taanan, and that's the normal part of life. So when you become a professional, you need to face naturally your audience. Bisag pila pa na siya ka thousands dinhaan. And you as a student, you need to take seriously to in delivering a speech or report. Okay, dira man nimo makita kung nag-boost ba ang imong confidence or if you are ready to have an effective speech or for you to be an effective speaker. So there are principles of an effective speech and be a good public speaker. First principle is your audience. So you should know the profile of your listeners. You need to know their age, their gender, educational background, religion, economic status, and their interests. So mo na ang pinakauna nga dapat nimo i-consider to be an effective speaker. Kabalo ka kung kung pilay mga edad sa imuhang mga listener, unsay mga sex or the preferences of your listener, mga professional ba na sila or dili, Catholic or non-Catholic or whatever it is, the economic status, and of course, their interests. Okay, dira man jud nimo makita or dira ka mo adjust sa imuhang context. Okay? Next is audience, also how much the audience knows about your topic. You can introduce new things for them to learn, know the posture of your audience, be ready to face different kinds of audience, and know how to deal with any unpleasant incident or conflict and always stay in control of the situation. So this pinakauna, also how much the audience knows about your topic so that you can prevent a misunderstanding and miscommunication. Second, you can introduce new things for them to learn. Kung ikaw ang second speaker, yes. Okay. You can introduce new things for them to learn kay gikuha ka sa speaker because they trust you, they believe in you nga na kay something i-share nga new for them to learn. Next is to know the posture of your audience. Dili ani mo makita kung interesado pa ba imong mga audience, nag-ingko din haa, nag-cellphone, nagtabi. Pag inana na gani imong audience, wala na siya interest sa imong speech. So dapat mangita kag way, mangita kag mangita kag different ways nga para mabalik ang ilahang interest sa imong delivering of your speech. Be ready to face different kinds of audience. Importante dyan ni siya kay na ay uban listener nga grabe mga hecklers, mga hecklers, and many and more. I mean dapat kabalo jud ka sa imong speech kay rugged and ready kibali. Rugged and ready to face different questions from your audience and know how to deal with unpleasant incident. Like for example, na nakuyapan din niya, ikaw natarantar ka, which is very wrong. So imong i-calm ang mga audience nimo kay naaray mo anha din ha mga health first aid ana. Okay? Dapat ikaw mismo ikaw ang speaker, ikaw nagdala sa imong audience niya. Kung ikaw magpatarantar-tarantar ka, nakuyapan imong audience nun. Wa na, kuyapan mong tanan. Next is logistics. It is something basic or essential for every speaker to know who is organizing the event and know who will be introducing you and who will be speaking before and after you. And you may even give the audience an idea as to what the next talk is going to be. So, mo na kung ikaw ang first speaker, dapat hatagan nimo og sinyas ang second speaker nga pahumana ka para ma-ready siya din sa backstage nga siya na ang sunod. And in that way, you will be able to tie up the earlier presentation and must prepare pa ka you know already the flow sa imong buhaton. Okay? Be logistics. Venue. The venue is equally important. It is one of the factors can affect a good public place, especially in speaking. Locate the lights, and if you have movable visual aids, know where to position them. You should know how to position yourself. Position yourself. You should know how to position yourself and know you should move in front to get the attention of your listener. Okay? Muna gingon nga mag-gyran ka para kabalo ka o gaha ka mo lugar. Dili kay bisag asa lang ka mulakaw kay ang imong mga audience malipong og samukan if lihukan ka nga speaker. Balis dinhi, balis dito, balis dinhi. Oh no, dapat na kay balance sa imuhang walking distance dinha nga stage. Okay? Kay malipong po na yung mga speaker. Oy, og malipong po ka appeal kung mag-inana ka. Next, and also dapat kung better kanang dili na tabunan ato ang presentation or kanatong PowerPoint if magagamit tag PowerPoint presentation ha. Next. Work on your posture and avoid bad habits when speaking. Mga mannerism nimo, avoid na. Do not block the view of your visual aids as you present them. Wala kong gigod-gain na. Ayaw i-block ang imong PowerPoint presentation. Employ a balanced posture by not standing on one leg only. So stand straight, dapat you look professional and you look effective speaker to bali bisag dili pa kaayo. Babida-bida sometimes. Kanay pa bida-bida, ma-apply po natin na siya in some different ways. Di ba? Bida-bida. Next, the facilities. Ask beforehand about the pieces of equipment available for you. This facility should match the presentation aids that you will use. And if there is no available projector, find a way to have one. If there are any electrical problems or technical glitches you encounter, dapat kabalo po ka ha, dapat techie po ka nga pagkatao, you know how to troubleshoot them. Dapat ready po ka, dapat na po kay mga computer skills din ha, kay what na. Kay di ba? Ako, naka-experience sa ko as a resource person. Then one time dito sa hall, parts sa Surigao, San Agustin, Surigao City, Arena Blanca. I'm expecting na sila HDMI, of course, kaniingon na pass nga na dito ang another like projector. I'm expecting na sila HDMI or kanang isa pa sa HDMI. And there mag-start na unsa nay oras wala pa HDMI and dito na wagtang ko kay ako man, if you are the resource person, ikaw ang kabalo, ikaw ang responsible kung unsa ang imong ipangsaksak sa imong LCD, sa imong computer or sa imong laptop din haa. So, moto, lesson learned, grabe na og paningot ato, resource person pa jud ko, and thank God kay na si God beside me, naga-guide sa ako. And natuwid pud na ko ang discussion about stress management. Diba? Stress management akong topic, pero ako mismo na stress tungod sa HDMI. So dapat beforehand i-make sure jud nimo if available ang imuhang mga materials nga panggamiton. Dapat naka-ready na ang mga materials nga needed nimo sa imong presentation like projector, extension wire also. Nasa like extension wire pero makaingon jud kag ala uy asa mang extension ani murag isa ra man ni kadupa ng ilang extension wire. Pero there nahanapan na po nila pamaagi. Mga to siya, extension wire, LCD, or kanang whiteboard, and many more. Dapat rugged and ready jud kaan ang mga butang ha. Next, the content of report, speech, or lecture. Since you have been invited as a speaker, the organizers might have sought you because of your reputation as an effective speaker. Dili ka nila kuhaan og speaker if wala kay enough knowledge about that certain topic. If the purpose of the event is to inform, of course, it is expected that you are able to contribute new information. Diba? To inform, mo na siya ang purpose ng muhang speech. So, dapat expected sa mga audience team or sa mga listener nga maghatag ka sila og mga new information about that topic. Okay? Next. If the purpose is to entertain, your speech should be lighthearted lang, amusing, and lively. Okay, ano lang, entertain, lipay-lipay gamay, heavy lang. Ay, mga heavy, mga light lang ang mga discussion. If the purpose is to persuade, your presentation should sound convincing enough. So, dapat imo just lang kuhaon ang ilang attention to persuade their interest. Di ba? Inaana jud. And take note that if you have more than one purpose, you should not forget to have a dominant purpose in your speech, lecture, or report. Okay? Next, how do you prepare for a big event? Of course, you need to read a lot about your topic. Mangandam jud ka mismo kung ikaw resource person or speaker or sa tawag na lecturer or reporter. And research on the topic assigned to you as a speaker. You should be kept abreast of these new developments by reading a lot. Read and read. Di lang kayo read and read ha, dapat na po comprehension kay kasagaran na ba basa lang away comprehension no, useless lang gyapon. It's a waste of time. Read with comprehension. Next. Prepare your oral presentation with an introduction, the body, and a conclusion. So there are different techniques to open and close your presentation. Like for example, using startling or shocking statement. Kanang maana jud mong audience, hala mao, really tinuod? Ana, oh. Beginning with a question. Di ba kung dili na ma-apply ang why questions are very important. Di ba? Maka-think din imuha mga reader or imuha mga listener nga, ha, tinuod ka ha yang giingon, sige daw ato daw hibawon sa iyahang koan, sa iyahang body or sa iyahang conclusion. Di ba? Next, using a quotation. Quotation. Narrating or anecdote of a story or a real-life story. Or even kung gusto ka magkanta ka. And preparing statistics. Di ba? There are mga different ways on how to prepare your speech or lecture for the big event. And the strategy you will employ should match the topic that you will present. Dapat ito pong i-relate kung unsa ato ang mga preparation sa kanang event nga muhaom mismo ang ato ang mga materials, ato ang mga ways or ato ang mga pa-games ba dinhaa or kanang pa team building, dapat mahaom jud dinhaa mismo sa imuhang event nga gianhaan. Okay? And remember that nga ang imuhang introduction and conclusion, it will leave a lasting impression of your listener or audience. So dapat na adyo kay parts of a speech, dapat na introduction, body, and conclusion. Next, rehearse by practicing aloud and getting the feedback of those who will act as your audience during the rehearsal stage. So Natay mga ways din hiya that you may invite your family or friends to listen to you while rehearsing, and their comments and suggestions can be useful for you to improve your presentation before the big event. So very helpful din na siya. Yes, invite your friends tapos ipa-critic sila sa imuha nga. O say need na ko i-improve, okay na ba ako mga diction, the rising and falling intonation, the stresses, the grammar or the pronunciation. na. And dapat open-minded ka sila mga comments and suggestion ha, kay it will help you naman po for your benefit na lang po. Okay? Next, for the introduction, use gambits such as Nani. I would like to talk about stress management. I believe that the topic is very relevant, and let me relate to a story about this and that and those. And for the conclusion, use gambits such as summing up the points I discussed earlier. And finally, to end my speech, to summarize, in conclusion, to include. Muna siya ang mga gambits nga helpful po ni siya para for preparation for the big event. And use technology. In this day and age, most speakers use technology. And technology form parts of their audio and visual aids. And technology tools should be used sparingly. And visual aids should be utilized only to enhance your presentations, and it is important to use keywords in your slide presentation. Kung magamit ka on PowerPoint, ayaw na, dapat 6 by 6, 6 words by 6 bullets. In 6 bullets, in each bullet na ay 6 words lang dapat. Di na 2 sentences pa. Mga bullet lang dyan, mga keywords lang. And also you need to explain what the text in the slide, not just only to read it verbatim, but also you need to explain it. Okay. Kay uban ato nga mga listener nga, for you, kabalo ka, pero ang uban wala kabalo. So dapat, dili lang kay basa, explain pod sometimes. Okay. Next. Pictures that will represent a concept are also encouraged. Di ba? Kaya kung natay picture nga, labaw tinuod jud siya nga picture, actual siya nga picture, make it to make your speech more reliable jud. So the same is true with graphs, table, charts, maps, quotes, and important passages and saying. So mo na imuhang mga references to make your speech reliable. Next. Delivering the report, speech, or talk. Paralinguistic cues. It's subsumed under the categories are facial expression, your posture, your gestures, and your movement. Muna siya ang ato ang paralinguistic cues nga dapat nimo i-apply. Proper facial expression, posture, gesture, and movement. Kamuhaon po si mong ipang storya. The sun, ay imong kamot nasa ubos, saon na lang jud ang sana nasa ubos. And a facial expression, it is the eye, the eyes and the eye-to-eye contact are very important. Pero kung ako ang speaker, mahadlok jud ko mag eye-to-eye contact kay basig maka-create pag love, charot. Joke lang. We should maintain our eye-to-eye contact kay para feeling nimo ba nga naminaw ba ka ni siya. Dili lang kay maka-create og love. Dali mo makita pod kung interesado pod ba na siya sa imuhang topic, okay? And there is the saying which states the eyes are the window to the soul. O di ba naka-create you the love, charot. It means that we can detect the emotion state of a person. So sa mata makikita and we can see the feelings and emotion. Next, posture. It refers to the speaker's stance. It is important that as speakers deliver their messages, they project an air of confidence so they can get the attention of the listener and win them over to their side. Diba? So how do you execute a correct posture? Diba? Stand comfortably. Hands should hang naturally and ask yourself if ready na ba ka, then you can start your speech. Diba? Kay once gitawag na ka sa facilitator or sa host, na sa imuha kung when ka mo start. After a minute, mo start ka because you need to relax all your nerves. Kau bahala. Pero ay na po na ipat more than 2 minutes kay maragma. Dead air na ka na. 30 seconds or after a minute, anak. Diba? Then start na dahil ka if you are ready na. Next, gestures. Speakers who employ gestures in their speeches or reports are more convincing than those who do not. And it is used to make a point more empathic. And gesture abounds, so speakers should know how to create variety. And also, gesture made by some parts of the body, such as hand and the arm. Next is the movement. It is made of entire body. O lihok na tanan sa kaya malihok. Entire part of your body man daw. Your head, shoulder, feet, or sana din ha. Swaying one's body from left to right, side to side, front to back, or pacing from one side of stage, the stage or platform, to the other can be exhibiting a negative nonverbal cue. Halata na kaayo besh nga kuan ka, kulbaan. Avoid that thing, ha? And you should know how to move correctly and not distracting your audience. Muna yung mga mannerism dyan mismo. Proper mannerism. Next. It is noted that while dress or attire is not considered as a paralinguistic cue, but it is still classified as non-verbal. Importante gihapon. You should be well-groomed with your hair neatly combed and your shoes well polished. And when making a presentation, there are features that you need to observe. When you speak, aim at delivering your message clearly through intelligible and comprehensible pronunciation. And you need to articulate the sounds clearly by paying attention to how you move your lips, tongue, and teeth. And nabay uban speaker nga kaunon ang mga words nga ikaw na lang naminaw, oy, sige barang naman siguro may ani sa speaker. Careful lang putaan na, ha? Prosodic features. Finally, note that successful communication depends on prosodic features such as your intonation, tone, stress, and rhythm. In delivering speech, do it more slowly. Or kung paspas man na siya, loud and clear. Ana dapat, ha? Next, presenting in groups. When making a group presentation, everyone should be a team player and members should not be compete with each other. Grabe na pod kayo ka-compare ani nga pagkatao. Dapat magtinabangay mo na mo unity, and guidelines should be strictly followed, especially if it is a group task. Dili kay ang inyo nasabutan ikaw pinakauna pero gusto ka ikaw na lang pinakalas sa unjod nagsabot pa mo, di ba? Strictly followed the agreement. Next, planning is the essence so that your presentation is coherent and does not become fragmented. Dapat na jud may flow, okay, sa unang storya, dapat ang unang storya dili niya kuhaon ang topic sa ikaduha, ikatuloy, ikapat, ikalima kay wa nay pulos to nga topic. Kung kwaon na tanan, dapat na mo unity magkasinabtanay mong tanan sa inyohang presentation, especially in groups. Tips in preparing your presentation in terms of presenting in groups. Assign a specific task to each group member. Divide the work accordingly, decide on a strategy, prepare your audiovisual aids, practice on your own. Dapat po, if you are the leader, kabalo ka kung unsay kakayahan lang sa imuhang teammates or sa imuhang members. Ya kay ingon ka nga kani lisod sa iya ha. Tuan na, apektuhan jud mo as a whole, as a group, di ba? Dapat i-divide mo ang work accordingly, fair and kanang kaya niya. Nana na siya, ha? And mag-decide mo kung saan niyo na siya pag-report, inyo ba na siyang isayaw, inyo ba na siyang itula, or whatever it is, or whatever your strategy is. And prepare your audiovisual aids in case kung kinahanglan po ninyo. Okay? Next, tips in preparing your presentation, get feedback from your teammates. Think of a possible question that may arise after the presentation. Respond to questions effectively during the question time. So kamo as a group, isa-isa mo mag-present sa inyong topic, tapos isa-isa po sila mag-critic sa imuha para makapanganda mo sa inyong mga feedback in case nga naay questions or mga confusions sa inyong mga listener in an actual presentation. Okay? Be open-minded lang, ayaw ka hurt kung naay mga suggestion ng imong uban members. Kaya narabay uban nga ma-down dayon, kauin na lang, di ba? Dili kaya i-accept ang reality. You should accept the reality dyan. Kani, Overcoming anxiety or stage fright. Mana ni Ron. Overcoming anxiety or stage fright. Many speakers become tense when making small and big presentation, and that is normal. Normal na siya kay tao man ta mangurog jud ang tanan oy. Becoming nervous only shows that you care about your presentation. Ha mo na siya ha. Becoming nervous only shows that you care about your presentation. Nakasalalay imong life dinhaan, nakasalalay inyong group, nakasalalay imong career, imong opportunity. So normal ra jud na nga mangurog ka. At first naman jud na mangurog. Napuyo ba niya dili jud mangurog pero mostly at first sa jud na siya labaw nagmakalitan ka nga naanad lang ka nga ani ra kagamay imong ma-audience nga kana day nga event nga wow, thousands of people are there to listen sa imong discussion. Ganha mara na siya, be natural, think about success lang, ana lang. Ayaw na i-think ang mga negative side dinhaan ana. Kung feel nimo nga na imong mga kaaway na pud dinhaan, nagtanatan-tanaw imong mga kaaway, pasag di na diba? Just do your task. And after that, you will succeed. Okay? And that's the end of our discussion in Unit 4, Lesson 4. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And if wala mo nahibawan, grabe na po wala nahibawan. Kung wala nahibawan, rewatch this pre-recorded video. Kung wala nahibawan, i-video call ko sa akong messenger kay mag-1-on-1 ta. Again, thank you so much, everyone. See you next time sa tuang next discussion. Keep safe.